Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It's a series that pretty much everyone knows. If you've played any Sega console, chances are you played a Sonic the Hedgehog game. When I was a not-so-aging gamer, I was absolutely in love with the series, specifically the Sega Genesis ones. And I can talk about how much I love the series, but I've kind of already done that in past videos. Instead, I want to talk about the next generation. See, I'm a lot older now, and I have a son, so I want to go ahead and bring him on in. Come on in, buddy! You want to say hi?
Hi.
So I've actually had my son on this channel before. We talked about Transformers. But it's actually kind of crazy. My son likes video games too, and he really likes Sonic the Hedgehog. He likes playing the games on his tablet, you know, those little blue tablets that kids have. We're playing Sonic Dash, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic CD. You actually did really good in Sonic CD. You got all the way to the first boss, and beat him. It was cool. We don't just like the games, we also like watching the movies. So today we're going to take a look at another Sonic the Hedgehog game. We're going to be taking a look at the sequel to the first one. And in that game, Sonic had a little sidekick buddy. Who's his sidekick? Tails. And since Sonic had a sidekick, a little buddy sidekick, I'm going to have a little buddy sidekick to do this review. This guy right here. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2! I didn't own Sonic 2 as a kid, but I remember all the hype around it. The commercial they had I thought was pretty entertaining.
Embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries. But wait, you can play it too. This free Sonic 2 is a $54.99 value. You get 2 Sonics for the price of 1. Sonic 2 fits easily into any tackle box. Made from a space-age polymer plastic for years of family fun, and pets love it too. Buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1 and get Sonic 2 free.
Act now. Wiener Dog sweater sold separately.
And just look at that box art. That's pretty badass. While I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you look at it too long, it's still one of my favorite covers for any Genesis game. So, before we get into this, let's talk about the story. It's kind of the same as all the other ones, but who's this guy?
Sonic.
Okay, now how about this guy?
Tails.
Tails! And those two are gonna fight evil and kick bad guys' butt. And who's the bad guy of the game?
Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik. That son of a gun. Let's kick his butt and save the world. When this game starts, god damn, you just see how colorful this world is. We start off, well, not on Green Hill Zone, but one of the many Green Hill Zone knockoffs, Emerald Hill Zone. And there we are, Sonic and Tails. This is the default setting for the characters though. If you want to play as just Sonic or just Tails, you can. Unfortunately though, playing as Tails doesn't let you fly at all. Anyway, the controls here are simple and easy to understand. Press A, B, or C to jump, and press the D-pad to move around. New to this game, compared to the last, is the ability to spin dash. Crouch and tap the jump button to build up some speed, then take off. Damn, we're moving fast. I think it's easy to see why this game appeals to kids so much. Not only are the controls simple and easy to use, but look at this character, he's cool looking, and the game's got such catchy music. And Sonic just loves to go fast. And as any other parent out there will know, these kids right here, they don't stop. They love to run around. They don't stop. Still anyway, other than the spin dash, the only thing that's really changed to the gameplay is having a player 2. There is a 2-player mode that's just racing, nothing too exciting, but in single-player mode, if the second controller is plugged in, player 2 can fully control Tails. And the thing with Tails is that he's basically God. He can't be killed. I mean, he can die, but he comes right back. It makes this game really easy to cheeseball these boss fights. Sonic could basically sit back and let Tails do all the work. No, it's not cheating, it's teamwork. So if you have at least 50 rings and you pass one of these star posts, you'll be able to enter a bonus level. I could not stand the bonus stage from the first Sonic, so I'm delighted that they're completely different here. In this bonus stage, your goal is to collect rings. You'll be told a few times how many rings to collect, and you simply collect. At the end, you get a Chaos Emerald. Collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds and you'll be able to transform into Super Sonic. Akira Toriyama's influence has impacted media more than you might realize. As you play more bonus stages, they do get pretty tough. You'll start to see bombs that will take rings away from you if you're hit. But just like having 2 players in single mode, we can cheeseball this too. Alright bud, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, jump. Alright, watch out for that. Watch out for the bombs! Watch out! Wait! Maybe we'll show off Super Sonic in a different video. So for the most part, each zone in the game has 2 stages. The first stage you just go through until you reach the goalpost. In the second stage you'll fight Dr. Robotnik at the end. I think I've mentioned this before in my review of the first Sonic game, but I love the fact that you always fight Robotnik in boss fights. In a lot of other games, you typically have to go through a bunch of chump bosses before you reach the big final boss at the end, but here, it's always Robotnik. From a storytelling perspective, it really builds that Sonic-Robotnik rivalry. Robotnik will fail, but he comes back stronger than before, only to be defeated again. I like it. But as for this boss fight here, like all of them, wait for the perfect moment to jump on Robotnik's head to damage him. After a short amount of time, you win! We did it!
High five!
Yeah! Now let's move on to the next stage. I'm not going to go super in depth with all these stages since the majority of us already know about them, but this stage right here, Chemical Plant Zone, I think most of us would agree, is the one that Sonic 2 is most known for. The music is fantastic and the stage is so unique compared to the other Sonic zones in any of the Genesis titles. It's just so different. You go through tubes, there's spiders that'll grab you, booby traps, and this pink liquid. When I was little, I had no idea what this pink liquid was. What do you think it is?
Toxic.
Toxic. Alright. Toxic chemicals. I had no idea what this was until I looked into the game manual, but apparently this liquid is called Mega Mac. Hey, how's that for some Sonic 2 trivia? In Chemical Plant Zone, you'll drown if you get caught in the Mega Mac. But that's nothing compared to the next zone, Aquatic Ruin Zone. There's a lot more water traps if you're playing on the lower part of the stage. It can get tough, but luckily the Robotnik fight is pretty easy if you just chill on the side. The next stage is Casino Night Zone. I love the flashing lights and the classy music. The biggest thing to note here is that there's a few parts where you can gamble with your life. Bounce into here and attempt to get some rings, but beware, you can lose them all too. Hilltop Zone is next. There's a few parts where you go down these lifts, but screw that, I'm an ADHD rodent that can't stop. The next stage, Mystic Cave Zone, is one of my favorites in the game because I consider this the spooky stage of the game. You're in a dark cave, avoiding bats with some spooky sounding tunes. It's my favorite track in the game. Oil Ocean Zone is next. This is probably my least favorite stage in the game. Not sure why, but I just don't find it as fun as the others. Metropolis Zone is next. This zone is actually 3 stages long, and while the level design is done well, it's the enemies that aggravate the hell out of me. These stupid slicers always hit me before I even see them. And these damn starfish things? Fuck that. After we beat Robotnik in this stage, we move on to something really different, Sky Chase Zone. This is just a single stage where Sonic uses Tails' plane to take out enemies in the sky. Make sure you destroy the enemies to save those poor animals that are captured. Oops. Have a nice landing there, little fellas. And now we're in the final level of the game, Wing Fortress Zone. We're climbing all around Robotnik's ship. At the end, we don't really fight Robotnik, rather we have a fight with a laser beam. Now we enter Death Egg Zone. We got 2 boss fights ahead of us. The first fight is against Mega Sonic, not to be confused with Metal Sonic. You gotta beat him with no rings. Yikes! When I was a kid, I always had trouble with this fight, but as an adult, I now know all the weak spots and could beat him no problem. Alright, Mecha Sonic is defeated, and now we're gonna fight Dr. Robotnik. Ready, bud? Let's do this! Dr. Robotnik is in his now signature Death Egg Robot. Doing this fight with no rings can be a challenge too. You just gotta know when to dodge and when to attack. Patience is the key. Alright, we did it! Fist bump! We see Sonic fall from the sky and Tails catching him with his plane. Sonic poses, a slightly different pose if you collected all the emeralds, and the game ends. So that was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What did you think about the game?
Good.
Good? You like it? Alright. So, I gotta admit, for the longest time, I did not want to do a review on this game. I mean, most people have already played this game. It's been re-released just as many times as Street Fighter 2, and that's saying something. Like, really, every console since like 2000 has had some kind of way for you to play this game. It's not really a game that needs to be reviewed because, again, everyone already knows the game. It's freaking great. And, well, the fact that it is awesome is a good enough reason for me to do this. I think it's great to look back at the classics and remember why they're so iconic in the first place. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a freaking masterpiece. Does it have flaws? I mean, not really. Nothing that needs to be fixed. I love this game as is. The controls here are perfect. Sonic's speed and physics and jumping mechanics are on point. The level diversity is varied. The whole soundtrack is fantastic and is my favorite on the Genesis. And like I said earlier, the controls are simple and super easy to learn. It's a great game that I can just turn on at any time and just have fun with it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, if you somehow have never played it, do it. What are you waiting for? But those are just our opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think about Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, blah blah blah, you know how this all works. But thank you guys for watching. Take care. See you guys later.